And his opponent,
I'm just gonna touch a little bit on what Caprice Coleman had to say in the back. Caprice Coleman, you say you defend your title every time you're in this building. The national champion and soon to be the greatest in the world. I will defend my title every time I'm in this building also.
ladies and gentlemen, this match, scheduled for one fall, is now for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the challenger.
Well, Aiden Chambers has a chance of a lifetime on his hands. Impromptu. This is for the National Heavyweight title. Shatter chasing the challenger, Aiden Chambers, and getting caught. Shatter, the National Heavyweight champion, came out here and said, Caprice Coleman, you say you defend your title every time you're in this ring. Well, I'll defend the national title every time I'm in this ring. Am I the only one, based off his demeanor and what we've just seen, that thinks that Caprice Coleman might have gotten in the champ's head?
You know, first of all, Shatter's a fighting champion. I don't think Caprice Coleman got into the champ's head at all. The thing with Shatter, you got to remember, this man, the #1 contender to the 10 pounds of gold, the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship. He's not going to let anybody get in his head. Jeff G. Bailey wouldn't allow it to happen.
Well, right now, side headlock applied by Aiden Chambers. One has to think, the national champion, the Universal Soldier Shatter, he has a whole lot on his plate. He's the #1 contender. Wait a minute. Not even a one count. He is the #1 contender to the world's heavyweight champion, Blue Demon Jr. Jeff G. Bailey and Shatter here in recent weeks seem to have been haunted by the ghost of Kimo. It's not the real thing. He's got Caprice Coleman in his face back in the locker room area. He has now said every time he gets in the ring, he's going to put the national title on the line, which very uncharacteristic demeanor out of the national champion. And just a week ago, he lost to Stephen Walters. There's a whole lot going on in the champ's head, and one has to wonder if there may not be a toll involved here.
Well, you know, and the thing is, with the Shatter, with this man right here, he has a whole lot on his plate. That is very true, sir. But the other thing is, too, he has a lot of momentum. Despite the loss to Stephen Walters here on television just a week ago, he has a win now over former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Adam Pearce.
Right now, the Universal Soldier Shatter about to enter month 14 as the National Heavyweight Champion. Impressive by anybody's standard. He's facing off against Aiden Chambers, who we've seen here more than once, who has looked impressive every time he has set foot in the ring. He won the Super 8 tournament several years ago. What?
Red Roof Inn.
No, you more. Sunset flip, cover, 2, and only a 2 count. Aiden Chambers just gets balled back to the corner by the National Heavyweight Champion and Ken Wallace. Trying to break these two men up. Overhead release, belly to belly.
Well, you know, Shatter made this a title match. He said he's going to, every time he sets foot in this ring, every time he sets foot in this building, the national title is going to be on the line. The other thing that Shatter has also, too, is this aggression, this frustration, this anger, whatever you want to call it, that he's taking out on Aiden Chambers. He's not going to make the same mistakes that he made in his match with Stephen Walters.
And right now, you can hear the crowd in the NWA arena rallying behind Aiden Chambers. This young man walked in here with a non-title opportunity on worldwide television against the national champion. He now has a chance to walk out of here the national champion, but not if he takes too many spills like that to the arena floor.
Well, Greg Hunter, this is our featured contest this week here on NWA Anarchy. We want to remind the fans that in just 7 days, hopefully we'll have some more word on whether Michael Judas has signed that contract for Hardcore Hell for that Anarchy Heavyweight Championship and the champions in action next week.
We will see Shadow Jackson in action. He defends the Anarchy Heavyweight title in 7 days against the former Young Lions champion, the Skira Corvus. And thus far, this hour, we have received no word as to whether or not Michael Judas has seen our owner, Jerry Palmer, the matchmakers here at NWA Anarchy, or even been to the office to look at the contract for the Hardcore Hell main event. Right now, Chambers, knee right in the skull. Hook of the leg, 2. And only a 2 count.
And right there, now you see the national champion. Now you see him, he's looking there. He's got, he's thinking to himself, what's he got to do to put Chambers away, but goes right back on top of him. The champion knows, Shatter knows that everybody that's in this sport, everybody that's here, everybody wants to contend for that national championship. Everybody wants to be in the spot that Phil Shatter's in. Think about this for 1 second. This man, in his rookie year, wins the Anarchy Heavyweight Championship, goes on to a lengthy 8-month reign, then wins the National Championship. Right now, like you said, entering month 14, and the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. How big is that for a man who's been in this sport less than 5 years?
Cover, hook of the leg, and only a 2 count. The Universal Soldiers accolades here in the NWA arena and across the National Wrestling Alliance, well known. He was the Anarchy Heavyweight Champion. He defeated the 7-figure deal Ace Rockwell to capture that title. He was one half of the Anarchy Tag Team Champions with Kimo. He has been the National Heavyweight Champion for 14 months. In January of last year in Pennsylvania, he defeated Crusher Hansen to capture the title that makes him the greatest wrestler in this country today. And right now, the National Heavyweight Champion facing off against Aiden Chambers with that title on the line.
And Greg Hunter, lest we forget how it all began for Shatter. #1, he was part of a tag team with Truett Fields. #2, he was the first man in Anarchy to pin Iceberg in one-on-one competition, and he was the first man in the history of the sport to make Iceberg submit, and that was in War Game in 2007. Definitely cementing his spot here in professional wrestling.
And Aiden Chambers, one-footed drop kick. He finds himself in position to submit his place in the history of the NWA arena and perhaps walk out of here tonight as the National Heavyweight Champion. Right now, Chambers with a right hand. His opportunity is now. The National Champion is somewhat groggy. They are trading leather. And now, a rake of the eyes. Chambers is going to have to use speed. He's going to have to use agility. Do not match power with the national champion. You will lose every time. Vertical suplex. Chambers lands on his feet. That's some agility. He's looking for his own suplex, and the national champion counters. They're countering suplex for suplex. They go down inside cradle. Nice counter by the national champion. Only a 2 count, and he takes Chambers' head off.
Yeah, the only problem there is, Shatter was scurrying to get out of that pinning combination. Both men's shoulders were down. It would have been interesting to see how that would have been, because all it would have taken was Aiden Chambers to lift that shoulder up just a half a fraction second sooner. We could have had a new national champion.
Right now, Shatter says it's over. He's looking for the Oh, wait just a second. It looked like he was setting up for the PTSD.
But notice this time he hasn't stepped outside the ring yet. We hear Kimo's music. He hasn't stepped outside the ring yet. He doesn't want to lose by countout again.
Kimo's music is playing once again. He's smart. He learned last time. The national champion does not make the same mistake twice. He has yet to leave the ring. There is no Kimo. And right now, screaming, where is he at? He's trying to Aiden Chambers is stirring. back behind the champ. And now with Chambers, sends him in, roll up, 1, 2, only a 2 count, and he just got caught and drilled by the national heavyweight champion.
Aiden Chambers had the right idea. Now he's got PTSD.
Kimo's music plays, the mind games continue, and this time the national champion, 1, 2, does not fall for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, and still the NWA National Heavyweight Champion, the Universal Soldier, Shatter!
And now the Universal Soldier pounding away on the skull of wait a minute, and there is the Korean Assassin.
The Korean Assassin has shown up, but right into the arms of Shatter.
Oh, and Shatter's got it. Well, Jeff G. Bailey is frantically screaming, wait just a, that's Jesse Neal. That's Jesse Neal from TNA.
That is Jesse Neal from TNA going right at Kimo. And now we got a 2-on-1 situation here, Greg Hunter.
Jesse Neal from TNA hits the ring at Jeff G. Bailey's urging, and now they are targeting the Korean Assassin.
And did you see that? He just took the knee pad off and dropped it right across the neck of Kimo.
Jeff G. Bailey told the national champion, Kimo is no longer your problem. Kimo has decided apparently to make himself Shatter's problem. And the national champion is trying to decimate the neck of the Korean Assassin. And apparently, Jeff G. Bailey said he had a plan.
And this one makes sense, Greg Hunter.
Wow. What in the world? Jesse Neal in league with the NWA Elite and the national heavyweight champion, Kimo, is down. The damage has been done. And Jeff G. Bailey calls his troops out of the fray. Good grief. Folks, for Michael Gentry and my partner John Johnson, we'll see you in 7 days for more Anarchy. Good Lord.